Hi, hello, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Today we going to present uh, Consumers Association of Penang. Okay, with today presentation will be consist of three main content, which is first one is introduction and act related to consumers. Second one is case related to Consumer Association of Penang and comparison of consumer act within 4 countries. And lastly is suggestion and conclusion. So next, without wasting time, we moving on to the introduction. What is Penang Consumer Association? Okay, Penang Consumer Association was founded in 1970 and is based in Malaysia. Its operations are carried out from its Penang office, which is run by dedicated staff engaged in education, community organizing and mobilization, research and advocacy, litigation and also publication. And its primary goal is to guarantee a sustainable development model that address the basic needs of the poor and is both socially equitable and sustainable. CAP or Consumer Association Penang emphasize value for people as opposed to consumer organization in the Western world that advise customer on the value for their money. And in the past 2 years, CAP has also stepped up with work in educating NGOs in the field, such as from China, Myanmar, Vietnam, and Laos, who are not exposed to unethical market practiced by business, shifting consumer preference and advancing unsustainable production structure and etc. Next is the act that related to this case is the Consumer Protection Act, which is APP 1999 or Act 599, came into force on November 15, 1999 to provide for consumer protection. And since then, amendment have been made for time, which is in 2002, 2003, 2007, and 2010. As we can see, amendment in 2002, amendment subsection 17 clause 1 lists the type of future contract that have been gazetted by KPDN HCP. And amendment in 2003 increase in membership from judicial and legal services and increase award from 10,000 to 25,000. And in 2007, extend the scope of Act 599 to electronic commerce transaction, KPDN 2020. And also in 2010, introduced two new part, which is part of the unfair contract term, which provide for the protection of consumers from from the unjust term contained in uniform contract, and the advertising committee that provide for the power of the minister to establish a committee to monitor and take action against supplier who issue deceptive or fake ads. That's all. Thank you. Next, please.
Next is case number 1, which is case the Pidana Champion versus Perbadanan Bekalan Air Pendidikan Sehat. The issue of this case is it is the nuances and application issue by Raja Anak Lelaki Nama Tunggal to Perbadanan Bekalan Air Pendidikan Sehat Sehat. So the authority for this case is the first, using section 49, using section 49 of the enactment, under which the defendant act by cutting off water supply to Raja Ramatundra image as follows, which is fail to settle the amount due within 14 days from the date of presentation of the bill. And the case related to this issue is Lee Ngok Moy dan lain-lain, which is Tenaga Nasional Berhad. For the application, a mandatory interim injunction preventing the defendant from cutting off the water supply to Raja Ramatundra Permis. The recommended act of cutting off supply was too harsh in the circumstances of this case. So it must not necessitate to act affirmatively where drastic action is measured like when a consumer without any reason or reason refuse to do it. To settle his bill.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Muhammad Azri bin Muhyiddin. So I will explain about the case 2 about the Nestle Products Berhad versus Anwar bin Abdullah. So the issue about the whether claimant misconduct as alleged by the company. So the authority is Industrial Court under Section 20, that is the kurungan 3 of the Industrial Relation Act 1967. So in respect of the company dismissal of the claimant, an employee will feel that he has been unfairly dismissed without just cause or excuse by his employer. So it may lodge a representation to the Director General of Industrial Relation within 16 days from the date of his termination. So by lodging this representation, the employee is seeking for the reinstatement to his former employment with the employer. So this case is related to Telekom Malaysia Kawasan Utara versus Rasnan Kuti Sangguni Nair and Anor. So the application is according to Industrial Code under Section 20 kurungan 3 of the Industrial Relation Act 1967. The employee can seeking for reinstatement to his former employment with the employer, and the claimant has the right to be given the opportunity to cross-examine the witnesses of the company and to present his own witnesses to bring forward his own case. Thus, his argument that he was not allowed a sufficient opportunity to defend himself was groundless. So that's all from me.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nur Amila binti Zamidun. So this slide will explain about comparison of Consumer Act within 4 countries, but I'm going to explain two countries, which is Malaysia and Singapore. Food Act 1983 and Food Regulation 1955, Malaysia. In Malaysia, there are 6 parts of legislation which deal with food. The first one is Food Act 1983, second Food Regulation 1985, the third Food Extension of the Food Act 1983 to Tobacco and Others, Regulation 1993, the fourth Control of Tobacco Product Regulation 2004, and the fifth Food Insurance of Health Certificate for export of fish and fish product to the European Union Regulation 2009, and the last one is Food Hygiene Regulation 2009. In Malaysia, food pollution offences are not only in the Food Act 1983 but also in the Penal Code. Section 272 of the Penal Code provides that anyone who forfeits a good article shall be punished. The next is Sale of Food Act in Singapore. Various subsidiary legislation has been enacted under the Sale of Food Act, namely as the first one is Food Regulation, the second is Sale of Food, Prohibition of Chewing Gum Regulation, the third is Sale of Food, Composition of Offences Regulation, the fourth is Sale of Food, Fees Regulation, and the last one is Sale of Food, Food Establishment Regulation. Section 11 of the Food Sales Act prohibits seller from selling unintentional food without fully disclosing the nature of the good pursuant to Section 25 of the Act. Food is considered to be falsified if it contains of supplement substances other than those expressly labeled, does not comply with prescribed standards of contain harmful substances. That's all from me.
Uh, and now I'm going to present about Indonesia and Thailand, which is Indonesia has Act number 7 of 1996 on food. and known as Act Number 7 of 1996. It has 65 articles and it's been divided into 14 chapters. The objective of the Act are stated in the Article 3, which are to ensure food availability and fulfills the requirement on the safety, quality and nutrition. Secondly, is to create an honest and responsible food trade. And lastly, is to create food sufficiency with reasonable price and accordance with the need of the community. And in Article 21, it has provided provision on contaminated food, which prohibit any person from producing food containing materials that can cause harm to others. And for the Food Act 1979, which is for Thailand, it has 78 sections divided into 8 chapters and transitory provisions. It known as Section 25 of the Thai Food Act 1979, it states that it is an offence to produce or import for sale or distribute adulterated food. There are some description of the food listed that shall be deemed adulterated under Section 27, which is firstly, the food for which other substance are partly substitute or in which valuable substances are wholly or partly removed and which is sold as or under the name of genie food. Secondly, food that is made or prepared in any way to disguise defect and food label in order to deceive or try to deceive the consumers in terms of quality, quantity, usefulness or special nature or place or country of production. That's all.
Based on the comparison of consumers within 4 countries above, we are now moving on to the suggestion on improving the law. The other countries must take a legal measure for the safety of the consumers regarding the issues of genetically engineered food, like what Indonesia have done. According to By Act Number 7 of Food of Indonesia regarding the issues of imported food, Indonesia have imposed a testing requirement since this requirement can prevent borne disease among local consumers. Plus, authority can act as a unit that control the advertisements since they can control and filter the information that will be published as a food advertisement. And moving to the last part, which is conclusion, there are also many other customers association in this world that regulating different yet almost similar provision in order to ensure their consumers' right. For example, provision that are regulated in other countries such as Indonesia and Thailand also have similarities and sometimes differences compared to provisions that are being regulated in Indonesia. That's all from us about consumers at Consumers Association CAP. Thank you. That's all.